Hey everyone, welcome back to Field Trippin'. My name is Kevin Jordan. Today we're going to be talking all about pruning your fruit trees. Right here behind me I have a 20th century pear. It's a tree in need of some pruning. It's gone dormant or is almost there. And this tree tends to go, shoots its branches straight up vertically. A lot of the fruit trees you're going to see in this episode are a lot of our stone fruits as well. So I'm going to have to do some plums, some pluots, some nectarines and peaches. But right here, we're gonna start with this little beauty right here. I'm gonna do a little time lapse to speed things up to show you what's going on. But really what we're gonna do is I'm gonna be bringing back a lot of this vertical growth. You see these branches love to just go straight up. When they first come out, they emerge and go straight up. But I don't want this tree to be so tall. I want it to be a little rounder, a little bit lower to earth, so that way we can harvest it a little easier. Me and my students here at the school, so we're gonna bring back this growth. We also wanna open up the center, so any dead growth in the center, disease growth, dying growth, actually anywhere is gonna get removed. But any branches that are crisscrossing the center or trying to go back towards the center of this tree are gonna get removed, because we want nice open center to all of our fruit trees out here, and we want kind of upward and outward growth. That's what we're aiming for, and that's what we're gonna do. So let's take a look. Quick work, right? No, so it wasn't too bad. Got a little bit of work done in here. You can see I brought that canopy down. I was able to get some of those crisscrossing branches out of the center. Now I'm gonna go back through and look for any pieces that I may have missed, or new cuts that I want to make to really finish this off. This is about 98% done. There might be a few more cuts, but if I find any dead wood, diseased wood, or dying wood, those branches have to come out. Now, of course, it's always important after I prune all this stuff, we got to get it all cleaned up into the green waste or compost, because we don't want to leave it all here. Got to get it cleaned up, onto the next tree. Let's go. Okay, so before I get too far ahead of myself, I want to show you some direct examples of some of the limbs that I'm going to be removing from all of these trees. Now, I mentioned dead, dying, and diseased branches, and I want to show you just what that might look like. So here's one right here, and I know this time of year it can be a little tricky, because a lot of these, to new gardeners and growers, a lot of these branches that are dormant kind of look a little dead because they don't have any leaves on them. But the ones that are dead are going to have discolored bark from all the healthy ones around them. The buds in this case are all blackened out and they don't really look that great. And then you can see the bark is all wrinkled up and kind of shrunken back. And so that's one right there that we would definitely want to remove all the way. And that's when we're gonna get out. And even his friend right next to him is feeling the heat too. Oh, and then there's one right here that is doing the same thing. So these are all really good examples of some limbs that I can remove right there. And we'll cut that one back to right about there. But you can see right there, another tab that it's time for it to go. And I'm gonna show you one more example of a dead branch. There's one right here. You can kind of see how it just really doesn't look good. The color is quite a bit different from the branches around it. It's not doing that great. So we'll get rid of that branch as well. Oh, there we go. You can see he has a little friend behind him. It's also not doing well. All right, so now those are some good examples of dead limbs, dead branches, and they can even get a little bigger. You can see I got a little one right here that could probably be cut off. Ones down here that could be shaved off as well. So there's plenty of dead limbs in this tree, as well as many others. It just happens, and then new limbs form. Some of the ones just didn't make it. Now, another branch that I want to kind of bring your attention to are these limbs that are coming kind of at us right now. And I've mentioned, hey, we want open centers. And so we don't want any branches that are going to be crisscrossing the center. So you can see these branches right here, and they're actually come all the way over here. So we're actually going to remove all the way back and do a thinning cut where we actually remove the entire branch. And you can see this one right here. Hopefully you can see that a little bit. This one is going to have to get removed as well, because it's coming right through the center of the tree, and we don't want that. We want a nice open center. We want air and light to flow through. Oh, there we go. Oh, that feels good. It always feels good to get a branch out of there that didn't belong. So those crisscrossing branches, that's what we don't want. You can even see a smaller one like this trying to do the same thing and go back towards there. We don't want that. So any of the branches that are crisscrossing have to go. Now, this tree, I probably didn't prune it as hard as I should have last year. So some of the limbs, actually this tree right here, you wouldn't know it because it looks, like I said, it looks kind of dead, right? But it's just dormant. This tree was covered in peaches last year. I mean, so many peaches, it was insane. I've filled up a couple buckets filled, and it looked like I didn't even touch the tree as far as harvesting. There were so many. But double-edged sword there, when you get a lot of fruit, sometimes you'll get these branches that'll snap. So you can see this one's damaged all the way back here. It's still alive, but it's not really a healthy branch. We don't want that, leave it there. So we're actually gonna get in there. Oop, a couple little dead limbs right near it, like we just talked about. Oh. But this one right here is one we're gonna remove because it's a damaged limb, right? It's not dead, but it's damaged from all that heavy fruit from last year. So like I said, it was kind of a good problem to have at the time, but now we wanna clean that up. Oh, a little clipper there. Oh, there we go, hold on. There we go, nice clean clip. You don't ever wanna just grab it and try to tear it. I've seen a lot of folks do that, especially my students, and you don't want that. You want to make as clean cut as you possibly can. All right, so crisscrossing branches. Here's another broken branch right here. You see the same thing. It was full of fruit. The limb was so thin and small and weak, couldn't hold it. So I'm gonna go through and remove a lot of those. Now the last one example I wanna show you are branches that are crisscrossing each other, and in this case, they're actually touching each other. And so we don't want that. You see how these branches right here are touching? That's not ideal. That's can lead to problems. So what I can do is you can either remove an entire branch, or you can actually just cut one back to a healthier zone. You can see this one actually has his friend is growing up touching him right here as well. So this happens a lot, especially with these trees. So sometimes you have to just prune some of them out. Like I said, here's some that are touching right here. You can prune them out entirely, or you can just prune one back, and you can give them both a little space. And that's what we want. Is I'm going to prune more in this tree, but basically we want space for our mature branches. The healthy branches, we want to create space in between them a little bit, just as we have space in the center. You can see here's another broken limb right here, kind of dangling down. So that one's going to have to go as well. So those are some direct examples. I hope that helps. Let's get right back into doing all these plants. I want to show you what it looks like before and after. Now check out this beautiful pluot tree behind me. It's a gorgeous tree, but it's a little bit too healthy. It's a little too tall. It grew quite a bit this last few seasons, especially last summer. And we want to bring this one's height down, just like we did in the video before. But this one has, it's a bit bushier and has a little bit different growth habit than that last tree. So this is a pluot, and so some of its growth is going, a lot of it's going vertical, but then we got a lot of crisscrossing branches. We don't want branches that are going back through the center. We don't want them touching each other. The height canopy is pretty good for right now, but as far as where it starts, but not where it ends. So we're gonna try to get in there and do some heading cuts to bring it all back. I'm gonna be looking for a height that is basically gonna be easier for us to kind of grab without getting on a ladder. We wanna keep these ones about 8, maybe 10 feet tall if possible. And I'm looking for outward facing buds. On all of these branches, you're starting to see these buds form right at the node. And that's where all that new growth and the flowers and fruit and branches are gonna emerge. And so when I'm coming and bringing this back, I'm always looking for a nice outward facing bud, or at least a bud facing a direction that is going to be helpful to the shape of this tree. I don't want to cut back to a bud that's going to shoot that branch back towards the center of the tree or back towards another branch. We want to try to have all the branches to have appropriate space. In some cases, I'll have to do a thinning cut, so I'm not just bringing back the height, but I'll actually be selectively removing entire branches, and that's your thinning cut of your prune. So we did that in the last video, or in the last little thing as well, but I didn't harp on it as much because I'm trying to get that one bushy. But this one's really bushy and it's tall, so we're gonna have to do a mixture of cuts. Let's head to that time lapse. Let's crank up some music. Let's get some work done. And voila, there you have it. So that was a bit of work, but definitely worth it. I went through, I brought back a lot of those branches, the crisscrossing ones. There was actually quite a bit of cutting I had to do in there. Got a massive pile of sticks here I'm gonna chop up and add to the compost. Now, even after I go through and do my first cutting, oftentimes what I'd suggest is coming back through it actually and then giving it one more look over. So even right now, just like the one before, I'm probably about 95, 98% done. So mostly done, but what I'd like to do is I'll clean up a little bit and I'll go back through and I will look for any more branches that look a little too long, like this one right here. I kind of caught my attention. I cut it back, but I could probably be a little bit harsher on that. And I've noticed this a lot when I prune my fruit trees, is that I'll be kind of delicate at first, and then I'll kind of go back and go, you know what, I probably could have cut that branch a little harder. And that's, for me, that's a little better than cutting it really, really hard and then wishing you could put that branch back on. So sometimes it can be helpful to cut a little bit. Other people don't want to waste their time. They want to just, you know, make each cut count. And so that can be advisable too. It's really up to you what you're comfortable with. But this tree is done. This Pluot tree is going to be happy and healthy. The center is completely opened up. I went by and a lot of branches that were going down towards the ground, or, you know, they're going horizontal for too long. You don't like that. I really don't want that. I want a lot of my mature branches that we're going to be keeping around for year to year, that are going to be holding and producing a lot of fruit, that are going to be creating that scaffold of our tree. We want those branches to be branches that naturally are kind of going up away from the trunk at a 45 to maybe even 60 degree. Some of these branches, they've started competing with all the other branches around them, so you see them kind of start stretching, and then they start kind of dipping down and getting low and horizontal. We don't want that. We want our branches to kind of go up and out, and that's what we did here. Like I said, time to go back through, give it one last look over, but I got a few more trees, so I can't waste too much more time. Let's get back to it. Good little chore. Had a lot of fun working on this one. You can see this one had a peculiar little thing about it where it was really tall. Its canopy was started a little bit too high for my taste where it's at. So we've been trying to kind of keep its canopy nice and low, keep it stocky, same as the other ones we've been doing, try to bring that growth back. This one was really thick with branches, but one specific thing that I want you to consider is that sometimes you have to remove some dead wood. Now this branch right here was dead wood, and so I actually had to get in there and remove this entire branch out of the canopy. And I know it seems pretty big, and it is, but it was done. All those limbs had not produced any growth the last year or two. Time to get rid of that. That branch is just in the way. So you can see it now. We've got a lot of light. It probably looks quite a bit different than it did when we started, but you can see here's even some more wood. So there's not just big branches, but sometimes some even smaller sections of dead branches that just had to go because they really weren't doing anything and they were going to be in the way. And so we get them all cleared out. You can see the canopy's nice and open. We brought the height down a bit. We're trying to keep it nice and squatty. These branches are also kind of heading out horizontally pretty well as well. But at a certain point, you don't want your branches to go too far away from the center of the tree and be horizontal, right? We want kind of up and out, up and out. These ones, some of them are kind of coming out and out and out and then up. So I've been trying to not just bring the canopy down, but bring some of those limbs in a little bit and then redirect that growth back into a better direction. So you notice I try to create some gaps in between the branches to let airflow, similar to having a big gap in the middle. So this one's done. Like I said, like the other ones, I usually will go back through in the next day or so and kind of give it another second look and then do my last final cuts if I notice there's any pieces of dead wood or anything that I missed, or some areas that maybe require some more pruning, because this one was really bushy in some areas, so I might even thin out a few small branches, but I don't want to go so crazy on the tree that I cut off every last living branch, right? So there is a limit to that, but it's looking really good. All right, garden friends and chlorophyll kids, that about wraps up today's episode. I hope you had fun and learned a lot. I know I sure did. I always have fun out here. There's always something new to learn. My fruit trees are now pruned back to a healthy shape and size and whatnot. Now I'm gonna gear up for some spraying, but I'll save that for another episode. So be sure to check back in. If you really enjoyed yourself, and I hope you did, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'd love to have you back for some more garden adventures. Until next time, garden friends, happy gardening to you, and please never stop growing.